blood shot upward in the air. So, when decay has rift a leaden pipe, a hissing jet of water spurts on high. By that dark tide the berries on the tree assumed a deeper tint, for as the roots soaked up the blood, the pendant mulberries were dyed a purple tint. Thisbe returned, though trembling still with fright, for now she thought her lover must await her at the tree, and she should haste before he feared for her. Longing to tell him of her great escape, she sadly looked for him with faithful eyes. But when she saw the spot and the changed tree, she doubted could they be the same, for so the colour of the hanging fruit deceived. While doubt dismayed her, on the ground she saw the wounded body covered with its blood. She started backward, and her face grew pale and ashen. And she shuddered like the sea, which trembles when its face is lightly skimmed by the chill breezes. And she paused a space. But when she knew it was the one she loved, she struck her tender breast and tore her hair. Then wreathing in her arms his loved form, she bathed the wound with tears, mingling her grief in his unquenched blood. And as she kissed his death-cold features, wailed, "Ah, Pyramus, what cruel fate has taken thy life away? Pyramus, Pyramus, awake, awake! It is thy dearest Thisbe calls thee. Lift thy drooping head. Alas!" At Thisbe's name he raised his eyes, though languorous in death, and darkness gathered round him as he gazed. And then she saw her veil, and near it lay his ivory sheath, but not the trusty sword, and once again she wailed, "Thy own right hand and thy great passion have destroyed thee. And my hand shall be as bold as thine, my love shall nerve me to the fatal deed. Thee I will follow to eternity. Though I be censured for the wretched cause, so surely I shall share thy wretched fate. Alas, whom death could me alone bereave, thou shalt not from my love be reft by death. And, O ye wretched parents, mine and his, let our misfortunes and our pleadings melt your hearts, that ye no more deny to those whom constant love and lasting death unite. Entomb us in a single sepulchre. And, O thou tree of many branching boughs, spreading dark shadows on the corpse of one, destined to cover twain, take thou our fate upon thy head. Mourn our untimely deaths. Let thy fruit darken for a memory, an emblem of our blood." No more she said, and having fixed the point below her breast, she fell on the keen sword, still warm with his red blood. But though her death was out of nature's law, her prayer was answered, for it moved the gods and moved their parents. Now the gods have changed the ripened fruit which darkens on the branch, and from the funeral pile their parents sealed their gathered ashes in a single urn. So ended she. At once Leuconoe took the narrator's thread, and as she spoke her sisters all were silent. Even the sun that rules the world was captive made of love. My theme shall be a love song of the sun. 'Tis said the lord of day, whose wakeful eye beholds at once whatever may transpire, witnessed the loves of Mars and Venus. Grieved to know the wrong, he called the son of Juno, Vulcan, and gave full knowledge of the deed, showing how Mars and Venus shamed his love as they defiled his bed. Vulcan amazed, the nimble-thoughted Vulcan lost his wits, so that he dropped the work his right hand held. But turning from all else at once, he set to file out chains of brass, delicate, fine, from which to fashion nets invisible, filmy of mesh and airy as the thread of insect web that from the rafter swings. Implicit woven, that they yielded soft the slightest movement or the gentlest touch, with cunning skill he drew them round the bed where they were sure to dally. Presently appeared the faithless wife, and on the couch lay down to languish with her paramour. Meshed in the chains, they could not thence arise, nor could they else but lie in strict embrace, cunningly thus entrapped by Vulcan's wit. At once the Lemnian cuckold opened wide the folding ivory doors, and called the gods to witness. There they lay disgraced and bound. I wot were many of the lighter gods who wished themselves in like disgraceful bonds. The gods were moved to laughter, and the tale was long most noted in the courts of heaven. End of Book 4, Part 1.